everybody. This is Wade at Forex Trading Coaches, and we've got Steve on the line as well as Rod. And we just wanted to say hello to everybody real quick.
Hey there.
Oh, hi, Steve. Hi, Wade.
Okay, cool. Good. All right, well, Rod, you know what? We're really, really excited to have you here today, being able to share a little bit of your experience. We know that people that listen to these interviews really want to know the nuts and bolts of what's been going on, what's been your experience, and how you got where you're at today. And we're really excited because we put a lot of time and effort into creating this really great system, and it's the kind of stuff that keeps us going, keeps us motivated to keep doing what we're doing, helping other traders and empowering them to be able to have the type of success that you found with the MACD system. So I'm just going to get started right away with question number one. So you told us the other day in the live trading webinar that you made 18% last month. That's fantastic. And that was, as you said, only taking a few trades. You also mentioned that you have had several months in the past where you earned 40% returns, which is almost unheard of for some traders out there. And, what would you say your average winning percentage is on a monthly basis, and how many of those months did you actually get up to the 40% mark?
Well, I'd say I average about between 15 and 20%. It varies on obviously how much time you spend sitting at the screen. But I've had several months where I've hit over 30%. And I remember trading the Euro Yen last year. I think it was 100.75. I mean, it was just a fantastic level. And crazy trade. And this is when the yen was just continuing to rise and go up every day, up.
Mm-hmm.
So, it sort of varies on what I'm doing. I try and not to. I don't really count on rocking up to the screen every day, so it does sort of vary.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, perfect. So you've been maintaining, you said, about 30%?
Yeah, I've had several months over 30%.
Awesome.
And a few months over 40%.
In case anybody listening doesn't realize that, and I'm sure you do, those are phenomenal returns, and that you keep doing that on a consistent basis, and that's absolutely life-changing, as you've expressed to us so far. So my next question, so we know you've been a member since 2011, and you also left us for a bit during that time. Then you came back in January 2014 and bought our Unlimited Access membership. Could you tell us a little bit more about the entire evolutionary process that you went through to get where you are now? What steps did you specifically take to master the MACD system, like live trading webinar, daily trading plan, online, video course, fast track? What did you do?
Fast tracks. I think I went through every single fast track several times. And the reason for leaving was a little bit to be able to see the setups and be able to do it on my own. With your system, you can, you've got that opportunity to be independent. But having the fast track and the daily plan and sitting in the webinars each day is just a full package. So I sort of proved myself to that point. I started out, I wasn't trading so good when I initially started, but I knew what I was looking at when I discovered the system.
Nice. So you kind of were able to recognize the value of the system basically when you first started looking at it. Is that right?
Yeah, well, before I came to you guys, I was trading with a guy from trading around from out of Texas.
Oh, okay.
And I think he's been trading for 10, 11 years. And he's what I would call an old school, a really good trader, a guy that can, and by that I mean he can stomach drawdown in trades that you guys would struggle to be able to do with that. And then I learned the price action stuff, and I learned how I did all these mentoring classes. And I knew there was something better, or a better way to go about these things. And then when I saw the MACD system, my eyes lit up. I was right. I
Well, that's awesome.
What would you say is the difference between when you started with us before and then when you started back up again with us in January?
Well, I had all the grounding of the system, plus I've done a little bit on my own, and I recognised I had my trades log, and I could see I had a history there of where I was going wrong, and I sort of just really dug in and just looked at where I was going wrong and where I was going right, and most of that was just sort of really being impatient. You're just waiting for the setups, I guess. Is when you sit down and you're evolving as a trader, you sit down, and if you come from a normal job, you expect you go to work and you're expected to do things, whereas the markets you get paid to wait. You don't get paid to do anything.
Yeah.
So that takes time to develop.
Yeah, and we've heard that actually quite a bit. A kind of a common theme, like you said. When you have a regular job, you get paid to sit down and work. When you're trading, you're paid to wait because you do the analysis. You wait for the market to come to you and take advantage of it. So that's exactly right. Yep. So, I'm going to jump on to the next question. This is Steve here, by the way. And a little while ago, if you recall, we had a Skype conversation with you where you told us.
Yeah, I do.
Yep, that you had moved to Thailand and you're looking to be a full-time trader. And so this is a little bit of that. This is that conversation you're showing on the screen. So it says here, I've never been in a rush to become full-time trading. I never wanted to put myself under that much pressure. But MACD3 trading has enabled me to move to Thailand to live and look forward to trading full-time. So big change for me. Thanks, Stephen Wade. So how is your progress toward that goal?
Well, I've achieved that goal now. I'm based here. I've achieved that already.
That's incredible. That's exciting because there's so many. It's interesting because we actually get questions from prospective members who say, "Can I do this full time? Can I make a living doing this?" And your testimony and others certainly prove the fact that yes, indeed, you can use a system and become a full time trader. So that's awesome. The trader will achieve that.
Yeah. Even though over the last 6 months we've had 10-year lows, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through that process as well.
Sure. Yeah, and it doesn't I say it doesn't happen overnight, but you stick to it. Like you said, you're going through the fast tracks and the online video course and coming to the live trading webinar and doing the things that we suggest you do, and going through the video course, of course, as I said, and it can happen for you. And you're living proof of that.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah. So let me ask you this, because this is a question we get sometimes. How long did it take you from the time you started trading this system until you realized that you were going to be able to become a full-time trader using it?
Probably within a month. I knew from what I'd done before. I knew what I was looking at, and it was just putting myself in and aligning myself with the system.
So
that's why I never wanted to put myself under that sort of pressure, because I knew what I had to do. It was just putting all the building blocks in.
Sure.
The future.
Awesome. So within a month, okay, cool. Well, that's pretty quick to sign up and within a month recognize that by putting in the work, you could easily become a full-time trader with this system. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I knew straight away.
So you weren't skeptical at all, like some people are? Were you a believer pretty much right out of the gate after you saw what everything was all about?
I knew straight away. From how I was trading before to just looking how the system operates and the full package, how it all dovetails together, and the time frames dovetail together. I was convinced of it. Well, there was no doubt in my mind. I didn't have any doubts.
That's awesome. You're living proof that if you just put the time into it, that you can make it happen and become, a disciplined full-time MACD3 trader. That's so great. Okay, so this is Wade. Now you mentioned to us that when you were first learning the MACD3 system, you struggled with being patient enough to wait for your entries. What do you think your turning point was, and what did you do to get past that to be able to become a disciplined MACD3 trader?
really focused on the money management side of it. And when I learned the basic system and then I started looking at the bigger time frame, I thought, yeah, let's go for a couple of big winners. And I think I remember at States last year, I think it was when you have the festival in America, the fireworks.
4th of July.
I think that was the first 4th of July. That's it. I think that was the first trade. I think it was 278 pips.
Wow.
Well, let's try and shoot for a few more, and that's when things started to gel for me.
Awesome.
And then what I did then is once I had the basic system up, and then I dovetailed the money management into it, and then dovetailed the bigger time frames into it, so that it's not easy to get that all those pieces together, but when that happened, that's when it really frees you up.
Wow.
All right, perfect. Well, so what would you say? What would you say your win rate has been as you've traded the MACD3 system?
I'm around the 70-75% mark. Sometimes, I like to get into the bigger time frame stuff, so I can get popped out of that and set back up into the next one, and away it goes. So my overall winning percentage is probably not as good as some of the guys that are out there, but I think it was
still really awesome.
Was the trade yesterday down in New Zealand. I mean, that's travelled 300 pips.
Yeah.
Session and a half.
Yeah, that's been a big move. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's awesome.
Well, that's good. So, go ahead. Continue on. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, you go, Steve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, Steve again. So that's pretty good that, 70-75%. We keep telling members that, we're doing 80% and above, and a lot of members saying 85 and 90%. But when you're getting the kind of pips that you're making, 70 to 75% is incredible. And it's kind of interesting. I was looking at this picture here. I love the picture you have there, both of you on the beach, but also of you at your trading station there. Looks like you spend some quality time with the MACD3 charts there. Along with that, what would you say, what sessions do you trade specifically, and how do you fit that into your work life? Because obviously you're spending some quality time there in that corner. So again, what sessions do you trade?
I love
your personal life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the London session, but I usually trade both. I usually, I'll trade the London session. London session is my favourite session, but if I don't get a trade in the London session, well, I'll carry over to the US as well.
Okay, so both the U.S. and London. How does that fit into, as I mentioned before, but how does that fit into your personal life and your work life?
Well, this part of the globe is probably the best place to trade Forex. It's just, you could trade all three markets here. It chose to do it.
Nice.
I'm sleeping, so I'll leave the Asian session, but it's quite up and open by the time I've got the daily trading plan. I wake up, plug in. I can get some in the Asian session as well.
Nice. Awesome. Okay. And so then, now you mentioned you've learned some other things before. How would you say that the MACD3 system compares to other systems you've traded?
Just no comparison.
No comparison. Well, that's a good answer.
Like I said, I knew what I was looking at when I discovered it.
Well, yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like it a lot. So, yeah, we're always curious, what other people's systems, have done for them before they started with the MACD3 system. So it's nice to hear. And it seems to be pretty consistent. That's awesome. That's all I can say. A lot of hard work and dedication went into creating that thing. Okay, so this is Wade again. And so what would you say to the person who is listening to this interview for the very first time, who is deciding whether or not they should join all of us and start trading with us?
Join. Just sign
A lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people have a hard time believing that. So it's good to hear that from someone other than us.
For sure.
Yeah. Well,
Okay. So.
Sorry, you go Wade.
No, go ahead, Rod.
I mean, there's trades within the system. I mean, you can. There's so many ways that you can trade the system. I mean, when you get more experience, I guess you guys know what we're talking about there. Whether you can fit the bigger time frames in and day trade it, swing trade it. Yeah, there's a lot of options there. Counter trend, trend trade.
Perfect. Okay. So this is gonna be our last question. We'll wrap it up right after this. What advice would you give to a new member who's just getting started so that they can copy the type of success that you have achieved?
Just be patient. I think just try and just not be in a hurry to get it done. I mean, work hard and study hard, but at the same time, trying to think of the word I'm looking for here, but yeah, it's just have some patience, really.
Yeah, in today's world where everything's moving really fast, a lot of people are looking to get rich quick, with Forex, and, what you will soon learn is that it is not a get rich overnight thing, it's a get rich over time thing. So it takes dedication to the craft and whatnot. So,
but if you can hone your skills and then let get a few trades under your belt, and then let the compounding and the money management start to grow your account. It doesn't take too much time before you can achieve results.
Yeah. So, we tell everybody that we give out, trades in the live trading webinar. We tell them, we go over all the analysis. We show them why we're looking at these trades. We tell them when to get in, where to move their stop, when to move it to break even, where to take profit. I mean, the whole 9 yards. I mean, what has your experience been taking the trades that we've given out in the room, in the live trading webinar?
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, Steve's a much better trader than what I am, but yeah, he's awesome. I cannot thank you guys enough, really.
Okay, perfect. And you've obviously you trade also the London market, so you don't have us there like in the live trading webinar, but you do get the daily trading plan, and we have to write that trading plan so that it's hopefully going to last over the next many hours up until the London Open and whatnot. So we try to cover it as best we can to make sure that those trades also work out. And we know also that sometimes the market moves in ways that we couldn't anticipate, but it still provides opportunities for those that have learned the system well enough to be able to find trades on their own. What's been your experience just following the trading plan, and how well has that worked out? And then, have you also been finding trades on your own on top of that during that time?
Yeah, well, the daily trading plans, it sets it out. Not difficult. We have all the tools are there. The alerts are set up. Trade minute, the work that you guys put into the daily trading plan, it's fantastic. And so yeah. Okay.
Well, I know that I fudged a little bit there, so that the other question, a couple questions ago, was the last one, but that's it. So, you know what? Thanks so much, Rod. You're really helping out, trying to touch someone else's life that might be listening to this. We are muddled with an industry where there's a ton of stuff out there that people have to sift through to try to find the diamonds in the rough. And we realize that the more interviews we do with our membership, that have had experiences like yourself that's been with us for a little while, or even someone that's just been with us for 2 weeks or a month, that's just as important as well. So, we really do appreciate you taking the time out to share with us. We know it's really late over where you live in Thailand, so we're going to let you go. Thanks very much for spending the time with us today.
Yeah, thanks, Rod.
No worries. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Wade.
Thank you.
Well, we look forward to doing a follow-up interview at some point. All right, take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.